Hey there, welcome to Tech World GBA, your go-to channel for all things tech. If you love staying updated with the latest in technology, gadgets, and tutorials, you're in the right place. All right, let's dive into a detailed explanation of user story points, just like you would hear in a theory lecture. I'll break it down into sections to cover everything you need to understand this concept thoroughly. Imagine you're part of a team developing software. One of the biggest challenges you'll face is estimating how long it will take to complete various tasks. This is where user story points come in. User story points are a relative estimation technique used in Agile methodologies such as Scrum or Kanban to assess the effort required to complete a specific user story. Instead of measuring the time, like hours or days, story points measure the complexity, effort, and uncertainty involved in completing the task. You might wonder why we don't just estimate in hours or days. Here's why. Time is variable. Developers have different skill levels, and factors like distractions, interruptions, or unexpected problems can drastically affect time estimates. Focus on effort. Story points focus on the work involved rather than the time it takes, making it easier to compare tasks with different levels of complexity. Before we dive deeper, let's clarify what a user story is. A user story is a short, simple description of a feature or functionality from the end user's perspective. It usually follows the format, as a user role, I want features so that benefit. For example, as a customer, I want to be able to filter products by price so that I can find the best deals quickly. Key elements of a user story include: who is the user? What do they want? Why do they want it? User stories help break down the product requirements into smaller, manageable pieces. Once you have your user stories, you can start estimating their size using story points. Now, let's get into the core topic: assigning story points. This process helps the team understand how difficult it is to complete a user story. When estimating story points, you look at complexity. How complex is the task? Are there multiple parts involved? Effort. How much work is required to complete the task? Uncertainty. Are there unknowns or potential risks? Is it something the team has done before? Story points combine these factors into a single measure. This means that a task with many unknowns may have the same story points as a simpler but more labor-intensive task. One of the most common scales used for story points is the Fibonacci sequence: 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and so on. The idea is that as the numbers get higher, they represent increasing levels of uncertainty and complexity. For instance, 1 point is a very simple, straightforward task. 3 points are slightly more complex and involve a bit of effort. 8 points require a good amount of work and might have some unknowns. 13 or 21 points are large, complex tasks with a lot of uncertainty. Using Fibonacci numbers helps prevent teams from getting bogged down in overly precise estimates. It forces them to focus on relative sizing instead. Let's go over some techniques Agile teams use to estimate story points. Planning poker is one of the most popular methods for assigning story points. Here's how it works. Each team member gets a set of cards with numbers that correspond to the Fibonacci sequence. The team discusses a user story. Each member selects a card in private that reflects their estimate of the story's complexity. Everyone reveals their card simultaneously. If the estimates vary widely, the team discusses the reasons behind their choices and tries to reach a consensus. Why it works. Planning poker encourages conversation and helps team members align on what's involved in completing the task. T-shirt sizing is a bit more informal. Instead of assigning numerical points, stories are classified into sizes like extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. Later, these sizes can be mapped back to story points. For example, small equals 3 points, medium equals 5 points, and so on. In affinity estimation, all user stories are laid out on a board. Team members arrange them in order from least to most complex. After ordering, they assign story points based on their relative position. Now that you know how to assign story points, let's talk about why they are beneficial. First, it improves estimation accuracy. Since story points focus on effort rather than time, they are often more reliable. Over time, your team becomes better at estimating story points based on past experience. Second, it encourages team collaboration. Techniques like planning poker bring the team together to discuss, align, and understand the work involved. Third, it promotes continuous improvement. By tracking story points completed in each sprint, known as velocity, teams can better predict how much work they can realistically accomplish in future sprints. Lastly, it reduces pressure. Focusing on effort rather than time helps reduce stress on developers, since the goal is to complete work efficiently rather than meet specific deadlines. While story points are a great tool, there are a few pitfalls to watch out for. First, estimating based on who will do the work. Story points should be independent of individual team members' skills. It's about the task itself, not who is doing it. Second, trying to be too precise. Remember, story points are a relative measure, not an exact science. Don't spend too much time debating between 8 and 9 points. Lastly, using story points for performance evaluation. Story points are for planning, not for measuring individual productivity. They should never be used to judge team members' performance. Some teams still prefer time estimates because they seem more concrete. However, story points are better suited for agile environments because time estimates can vary widely depending on the person doing the task. Story points are more flexible, allowing teams to adjust estimates as they learn more about their velocity and capabilities. They focus on delivering value rather than meeting arbitrary deadlines. To sum it up, user story points are a powerful tool in Agile project management. They help teams estimate work effectively, prioritize features, and plan sprints efficiently. By focusing on complexity, effort, and uncertainty rather than time, teams can become more agile and adaptive. Key takeaway: the goal isn't to get the estimates perfect, but to create a shared understanding among team members and continuously improve your process. I hope this gives you a comprehensive understanding of user story points. Let me know if you have any questions or want further clarification on any section. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our informative videos. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you.